any
This
code.
conference will now be
You are going to
recorded.
write a format. Hey, I want to start the service. I want to create a file. I want to download the packages. I want to install the packages. All these things are in one shot. There is no need to write a very complex user data. Only in the user data, what you can go and write it down. Either you can call a signal, or even if you don't want that one, just leave it like that one. Why? Because even in the cloud formation initialization, last line you can run one command, and what it will do, it will start, basically it will go and send a signal. All these things are doable. Anyone has any questions, please let me know. Anyone has any questions? Fine. Today what I will do, I will go for one AWS service that is called as, will I go for which one? I'll go for database. Fine. I'll go for a database. Fine. I'll go for a database. Anyone has any questions, please let me know. Please let me know. Online people, I think I'm audible to you. So anyone has any questions, please let me know. Today is a database, so let's go and start. We'll give more 2 minutes and then we'll start. Today I'll start one AWS service called as, it's a database. Now what is this database? How do you people work on it and all these things? Let's go for it. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so anyone knows what is a database? What is meant by database? Okay, I've did my maybe I have a database about my 18 years of experience on a database. So I know in and out of database, almost all the database types I worked on in my life. Anyone needs more information, ask me. So what is a database? Okay, database is nothing but you can, what you can do? Store the data, right? You can store the data and you can retrieve the data. So immediately in your mind, it will come up and specify, sir, if I can store the data, that means I am storing, also I can store the data in what is that? Files. Yes or no? I can store the data in a file. What is that? Then why do you require a database? You don't require any database. You can use what is that? File itself only you can use it. Okay. So, so, so you can use file itself only, sir. But can you tell me what is the disadvantage of a file? What is the disadvantage of a file? Let's take an example. I want to use, Dikshit wants to store some Dikshit username and password. So in a file, he will go here. He will go here. Let us take an example. Right click, go back here. He'll go and create Dikshit details. I'll go and click on Dikshit username for Facebook. You don't remember is okay, Dikshit @gmail.com. And what's the password? Fine. I'll go, I'll click on save. Now you saved it, yes or no? So why do you want to, you don't require any database. So why we are learning for a database? If you want to store the data, you can store the data in a file. Can you tell me what is the disadvantage? What is the disadvantage of a file? Okay, the biggest disadvantage, let's go through, sir. The biggest disadvantage is I can double click on it, and if I see what I can see, I can see the content. So the problem comes into picture is file can be opened by anyone. Okay, sir, opened by everyone, that is fine. So now the next one, like people will come up and say, I will not choose file. Okay, why I will not choose file? Okay, because you have a data, you can see it. Okay, that is fine. That is fine. Next one, another scenario it will come. Some people come up and say, you store the files, I'll not use file, or basically I'll not use a text file. Why? People will come up and say, I want to store the data. Okay, store the data, use file, text file. Did we use text file here? Now they will come up and say, store the data in, what is that? What is that? Rows and column. I want my data to be stored in rows and columns. Array, text file is not supported. Where is row? Where is column? Tell me. It is not there. Then I would personally come up and say, then people will immediately jump and say, because that file is text file is not supporting rows and columns, I'll go for what is that? Database. But I will come up and say, for storing rows and columns, go and use what is that? Excel. Excel is row and column, right? Or CSV file, comma separated file. Is it clear? So the problem comes into picture is some people come up and say, let's store the data. When you want to store the data, happily create a file, a text file, and store the data. Okay, now people come up and say, no, 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 it's not like that one. Can you please give me rows and columns? Rows and columns are not there in text file. Then I'm using, ask you to go for Excel and CSV file. Okay, now I don't know how many people know. Can you tell me the disadvantage of Excel? Can you tell me the disadvantage of Excel?
It is a
Anyone?
limitation
Anyone
to
used
store.
Excel file?
It will have a limitation on number of rows and
Very
columns.
good. So Excel has a limitation of number of rows. You cannot go and store in Excel. I want to store 10 million records in Excel. It will come up and say memory exception. You cannot store this much. You can limitedly store the data in Excel. Okay. Now someone will come up and say limitedly store the file in Excel. Array yaar Excel, no, I want to unlimited. Then CSV will support. CSV is unlimited. Don't immediately conclude and say Excel is not supporting, let's go to database. No, I don't require database only. You use what is that? CSV file. You can go add the data. I have worked on it. Add 1 million, 10 million, 20 million, 30 million, 40 million. CSV file will be there. It will be loading. If you double click on it, loading it may take a little bit of more time. But as an example, it will be, you can store it. Now the next part comes into picture is, array man, Excel rows, columns, everything is supported. What is the disadvantage of this, both the things? Or what is the disadvantage of this entire thing? What is the biggest problem? Storing the file, store it. What is there? Anyone? What is the biggest enemy of 1, 2, 3? Why people can store the data in file, right? Text file, right? People can store the data in Excel. People can store the data in CSV. They can store the data. You don't require any database
In
to store
text,
it. Then what
in
is the
text,
biggest enemy?
in text file, if one person text, you can see all the data, right? Whichever it is not relevant for him.
I can't hear. Someone is speaking about. Can you speak again, sir?
In text file, if he open one text file, he can see entire database, but which is not needed actually. There is no security if one person is able to see.
Okay, make your point is little bit valid, but I would not come up and say that is the only point. The answer what here Suresh has provided
If,
is,
if,
yeah, Suresh.
if that
Yes, sir.
someone
Go
is
ahead, sir.
open that file, maybe it will lock.
But pardon me.
If I lock if I open a file and if it is shareable, if someone is already opened, maybe there is a.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct, Rama. Thanks, thanks. Okay. So the biggest enemy of a file, any file. So here you said I'm using Excel. Here I'm using what is that? CSV, text file, any file. The biggest enemy of a file is locking. So you can take an experiment. What you can do, you can take one text file, save it in one common shared location, ask 5 people to update. One person is updating, another person cannot update it, and if you save, it will come up and say this particular process is used by another process. Do you want to save it as another file? You cannot save it at the same time. So the most important, sir, try to understand these things will come when you are a little bit more experienced on data. The biggest enemy, as I said, of a file, any kind of a file, is it can be written once, okay, at a time. That means 5 people are updating this file at a time. It will come up and say it will actually have, what is that? Lock. It will not allow to do any changes. It will not allow to do any changes. That is the biggest thing. Just keep it in your mind. It will not allow to you do any changes. It will come up and say this file is already in use. That is the biggest problem. This file is already in use by other process, other people. So either your changes will be not updated or wait for that person to update, then you update, it will throw. The biggest disadvantage of a file is this one. At a time, the good part is this file, if I want to do, what is that? Read 100 times, I can read the content. But the biggest problem is when I update or when I add the content, right? It is only one at a time. It will be not multiple. So the file concept will fail. Is it clear? The file concept will say you can, for your example, let us take an example. If someone will come up and say, sir, I am creating one application and I want to store my data, then, and who is using that application? Only me, I'm using that application. I would 100% come up and say, take Excel sheet and make it as a database. You don't require anything, because how many people are accessing the application? One person. So you don't get any problem. One person is updating, one person is reading, one person, you don't have any problem. The problem comes into picture if you are multiplying, because you are updating the file. It will come up and say, hey, this for a file cannot be updated because it is already updating by some other people. So the file concept will fail absolutely. That is the reason, that is the reason why something came into picture, that is called as, what is that? Database. Sir, what is present inside the database? None of your business. Sir, how it is handling? None of your business. That is the beauty. Database companies come up and say, sir, at that time you can update the data, you can add the data, you can do this one, you don't need to worry, sir. Everything in the background, what I will do, I will do it. What is meant by a database? Now database is for, what is that? Storing the data one at a time or multiple? Multiple connections are supported. Next, what is the beauty of database? Now you have an Excel file. I'll tell you one more example. Excel file has 10,000 records. Very good, very good, super. And I want, and in the 10,000 records you have different ages records. Age, someone who was born, 20 years, 50 years, 80 years records are there. Now what I wanted, when I open that Excel sheet, all the records should show. When Dikshit opened that Excel sheet, only the age between 5 to 10 years data should show. Is it possible in Excel? If Dikshit double click on the file, what will happen? The file will open, and so I don't have. So that is the reason in database you have something called as, okay, data is very sensitive. It also supports, what is that? What is that? It supports encryption. So it stores the data. You can go for multiple connections. It has a user management. I can create a user called as Dikshit. I can go and create a user called as Kumar, and Kumar I can go and provide full permissions. Dikshit I can go and provide only this table, this record, this you can go and provide. Only Dikshit can only view certain data. That's it. He cannot see any data. Those kind of beautiful user management and all those things are provided in a database. Is it clear? Anyone has any questions? Anyone has any questions? Anyone has any questions? Clear, not clear, half clear, full clear? Online people, clear, sir?
Yeah, we
Any
are good.
questions? Okay, if you are clear, now database is there. What came into picture? Actually, generally, I'm not going to what is the first database, which is the first DB came into picture in the world, and it has dominated for 35 years. And it is one of the fastest database in the world currently also. Now
DB2.
also, DB2. Okay, good. DB2. DB2 was there. I don't want to go and talk about DB2 and everything. DB2 was exclusively used for mainframes and all those things. For your ATM transactions and all these things they used to use. But I would like to talk about, even though DB2 was the first database, the concept of database become very powerful under the influence of which company? Today, top 10 richest person in the world, one of the richest person in the world is Oracle CEO. Oracle CEO is that today also he is like, he'll be top 20 richest person in the world. His assets are decreasing because the demand of Oracle Cloud and all these things are completely going down. But as an example, you have what is the biggest one in under the influence of Oracle, especially in 1995, 1996. What is database? Why people wants to use it? The awareness of database become very vast, very, very vast. And I don't know how many people, 70% of the total world databases were Oracle. And I'm talking about in 1990s, 2000. Oracle dominated the world like anything because it has provided very high security, encryption, storing, multi-connection, users, permissions, lot of things. Oracle came into picture. What is Oracle? What are the competitors for Oracle? First of all, keep it in your mind. Oracle, what is a type of a database? Actually, Oracle is, sir, what Oracle is a database? In database also you have type. Oracle is, have you heard about this one? In your engineering college, somewhere you should be hearing RDBMS database. Relational, write it down. Relational database management system. RDBMS. Now, the most important word is this R. We'll talk about that R. RDBMS. Go and study about this one. These are very basics. You need to study, sir. I recommend you, everyone in the world, you should know about databases. I'll tell you my personal experience, sir. Unfortunately, I'm working on the database, unfortunately, from the day one in my life. From day one, I started working. Database came into picture. What is database? My manager say, hey, take username and password and login and add the data. Now, what is database? I don't know. There were so many questions in my mind. It was there. None of the people have cleared it. All were escaping masters. When I ask any questions, hey, who are you, man? How many years of experience? Panjusko. So they used to tell like me. So I have so many questions in my mind on database. Fortunately or unfortunately, when I become bigger, I understood database very well. Whatever the questions I had it, I worked, I ran, and I fixed it. Then almost everything I know. Okay, so RDBMS, Relational Database Management System, Oracle. What are the competitors for Oracle? Like there were like very good companies. There is something called as, what is that? MySQL. There is something Microsoft came up and say, if you are creating database, why should I keep quiet? MS SQL database. MySQL is open source. MS SQL Microsoft data. There is a personal company which I know very well. It's not very famous, but it's a very good company. They go and provide a very good salaries. You have not heard about this database, I can guarantee tell you. Progress DB. You have a lot of databases are there. One of the most giant database, what is that? Oracle was very powerful. Security was there. MS SQL was peanut until MS SQL 2008 R2 released. Then it has provided a very equivalent competition for Oracle. But RDBMS databases are RDBMS. The primary question, I started working on MS SQL. I started working on Oracle in my, when I was starting in 2005, 2006. I had so many questions. One of the questions, none of the seniors or none of my managers, seniors, tech lead did not answer it. So when you are using relational database system, database there, So I think I do remember 2007, I think Google came into picture, Facebook came into picture. They were using a new database called as, what is that? So the first question I asked to ask, we already have a database RDBMS. Why companies, sir, why they are using NoSQL? None of the people were asked having a questions. All are abbreviative. That means Shoaib Akhtar bowling. Okay, they used to come up and say caching point is not there. Sir, what is caching point? They don't know. Like what is that? They will come up and specify. They used to come up and say it's schema less kind of thing. Sir, what is schema? Eh, susko nipani. Arey, what is this one? Then I figured out my thing. What is the difference? Let's talk about RDBMS first. What is RDBMS? The most important word is R, relations. What is this RDBMS data and why do you require it? Okay. So for your example, everything data, if you want to pull the proper data, you use the first word. What is the first word? Relations, and pull the data. For your example, I want to store Indian population. So can you tell me? So let me open another. There is no need for me to explain this much, sir. I don't want my students to be a blind spot in databases. I want to go and talk about a database. People should know, are these guys are much matured. Sir, can you tell me if I want Indian population, what should I do? Indian population, I want to store all the population. How? What should I do on a databases? I'll go and create a table called as, what is that? Population. And then tell me the columns. No. Aadhaar ID, sir. Why name? Aadhaar ID, unique ID. Then name. Now tell me.
Name, gender,
Age. Yes. Gender. Next.
maybe
Okay.
location.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. Now I'm making a lot of comedy here. What is it? I'm making a lot of comedy here. Tell me, can I add here number of children? Can I add here number of children? Yes? No? Yes? Okay. Number of kids. Now, don't make fun of me. I'm going to add my son's detail, Aadhaar ID 1, Vihan, age is 5, gender is male, number of kids. Is it clear, right? Is it making any sense? Or let us take an example. What is this? Now tell me. Okay, so my data can be exponentially increasing. Now tell me, I want to add, don't make, sir, why are you making fun of this one? Add a genuine data. All 1, 2, 3, 4, all genuine. Why are you talking? Okay, now tell me, I'm adding one more data. What is this? Now tell me, my son's salary. Does not make any sense, right? But there are other people, the salary is there, right? So what they will do, they will not store all the data in one table. They will divide the tables, multiple tables. Okay, for your example, and there are a lot of data which can be changed also, right? For your example, Aadhaar ID is there, name is there, gender no one changes, age will not change, but very important things can change. Like, let us take an example, state. Today I am in, okay, Hyderabad. Tomorrow I will be in Secunderabad or basically somewhere else, right? State, I will not go and provide state like this one. What? In a relational database system, they will create another table called as, what is that? State. And in this one, they will come up and say state ID, state name. So state ID is S1 is equal to Tamil Nadu, S2 is equal to Telangana, S3 is equal to Andhra. Fine. And what I will do here, I will not go and provide state name. I'll hide what is that? State ID, and I'll come up and specify what is that? S1. Okay. I'm working on what is, now tell me, what is this one? Department. Is it the same department I'll work? So there will be another table called as, what is that? Department, department ID, name you have it, D1 is HR, D2 is software engineer or anything and just fine. I'll go and provide what is that? D2. Now tell me, my name is Kumar, male, age is 38. Now this is my data. Now tell me, if there is a table here called as, what is the table name? Population. If I want to get the information of Kumar, what is the state and department? What it will retrieve? S1 and D2. That is, you will understand S1 and D2. Will you understand? So that is the reason what we are doing. We are using, what is that? Relations. We are joining this one with this one with this one, and getting the data. We call this one as joining the table. But why we are joining the data? Because this column is related to this relational database. We segregate into multiple tables. Tomorrow I want to fetch the table. I'll join this table and pull the data. In this way, this topic is called as normalization and denormalization in database if you are a DBA guy. But in generally, so this is the case. Relational database system. People went for relational database system like ERP application. Okay, ERP application. Then you have something called as what do you call, insurance companies, CRM application, asset management. All the company database is present in where? Relational database system only. Very good, super. But there is one big disadvantage. None of the people have explained, and this one experimentation I only did it. Okay, relational database systems are there, right? Very good, right? Now let us take an example. Now in this particular population table, what is Indian population? 135 crores. Now in 135 crores, Aadhaar card is there, name is there, everything is there. Now I want to go and click on search. Who is Dikshit? So what will happen? Tell me. So what will happen actually? What is relational database system? Dikshit, when you type it, it has to search for Dikshit, right? In how many records? How many table? What is the table count? 130 crores. It cannot search. Even though it searches, it retrieves back the data. It will give you the data after 55 minutes. Is that okay? So you go to Aadhaar company and say, sir, update my name. What is your Aadhaar card? They will enter and click on OK. Hey, come after 1 hour. Is that okay? So the biggest enemy of relational database system is when the data is huge, searching will become slower. Not slower, very slower. I'm not talking about, sir, I have 10 lakhs records, I added it is fast. No, I'm not talking about 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs. I'm talking about, I would come up and say 10 lakhs. One table contains 10 lakhs, 30 lakhs, 1 crore, 2 crore. Then you write a query. The retrieval part will take lot of time. I'm taking one example. Microsoft MS SQL database I have written. In the connection, I made it timeout is equal to infinity. And I written a query, select star from table 1, MS sales, where give me the data of 1x1. It took me 35 minutes and my system was basically, I think, 64 GB of RAM. It took 37 or 38 minutes to retrieve one record. And in that record, we had, I'm telling, I think 15 crores table count. To get one record, it took 38 minutes. Is it slow? So if you now tell me, sir, why do you add 130 crores of data? Where do you get it? Tell me the example of Google and Facebook. They are small or big? Not big, massive, huge. Then can I use RDBMS? Can I use RDBMS? RDBMS is for a normal application where you can store a lot of data. Like you cannot go off for 1,000 terabytes, thousands of terabytes, petabytes of data. You cannot support. That is the reason something came into picture. What is that, sir? What is that? NoSQL. Now, what is this NoSQL? Everything completely internals of NoSQL. I worked on it. NoSQL means not only SQL. What is the meaning of a not only SQL? Now, again, I'm using again acronym words. What is NoSQL? A schema-less based. Okay. Don't get fall it into no schema based, like what is schema kind of a thing. It's very beautiful. It is very fast. Now, what it is actually. Okay. What is the schema and everything? I'll tell you when time comes into picture, because I'm going to explain DynamoDB. But there is something called as NoSQL came into picture, which is very faster. And it is, yes, schema less kind of a schema dependent independence kind of a capabilities, and everything is there. So anything, and this one, if you ask the data, it can provide you the data in what is that? Is it clear, right? NoSQL kind of a data is there. Why it is providing sharding kind of a capabilities and everything. Let's go and talk about, shall I go and provide sharding? Anyone senior here, anyone knows what is sharding, sir? What is the meaning of sharding? Online people?
No.
Rama, go ahead, sir.
No.
No? Okay, fine. Okay. Pardon me? Two tables, sir. I did not get you. You are slightly correct. We'll talk about what is sharding, sir. Why NoSQL is faster? No, or big data and all these things are, the big data means lot of data, it can process it. If you are putting lot of data in Oracle, when you run it, it is slow, right? But what is big data? That word itself, only large data you can go for it, and it is processing faster. Why it is processing? There is risk as well as cost. Now why? Sir, normal database, this is Oracle database. Okay, table number 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, the total database is there here, all the data is stored here. Now you will have a question, sir, if this database is not working, what do you do? That is the reason you go for replica server. You go and create another similar database. So these two are replicated. So the data, you insert the data here, it will automatically insert here. This is a copy, same to same. Here, if it is 1 TB of data, here also what will happen? It is 1 TB. Here the table size is 1 crore. Here what is the table size? 1 crore. If you connect here to pull the data, it will search for what is that? 1 crore, and it is taking how much time? 30 minutes. If you connect it here, how much time it will take? 30 minutes. You cannot decrease that one. So this concept is called as clustering. What is meant by cluster? Same to same. Okay, sir, what is meant by sharding or NoSQL? Why it is faster? Sharding, big data and everything. What is meant by sharding? Now this is the meaning of sharding. So what I am adding in a table? Indian population, right? So now I will not create one server. I will go and create like multiple server. Okay, sir, why are you creating this one? Now I will come up and say, I can come up and say, all the persons whose names starting with A will be in this database. Or else like this one, all the persons who belongs to Andhra Pradesh is in this server. Anyone Telangana, this one, anyone Tamil Nadu here, Kerala here, Karnataka here, Mumbai here. Now tell me, if someone will come up and specify, I want to go and search Dikshit and he belongs to Telangana, is it searching 130 crores or where it is searching? So you divided, here you have 3 crores of records. Total how much? 130 crores. But what are you searching? 3 crores. And here also you can shard it like this one. You can also go and shard it out. You have sharding with mapping kind of capabilities. What you can do, you can go and create 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 servers, and you can come up and say this is 1 year to 7 years, 7 years to 14 years, 14 years to 140 year, 40 years to 60 years. You can go for it. Dikshit belongs to 25 years. So where it will go and check it out? In this one you have 20 lakhs of records. Now tell me, actual searching is happening on what? 20 lakhs. Is it clear, right? Those kind of capabilities are called as, and NoSQL works on this one only. What is the risk here? If this server is not working, what will happen? Entire Telangana not is there. Here also, what do you do? These two servers you will do, what is that? replication. So what is increasing? What is increasing?
Cost maintenance.
Cost is increasing. Are you able to understand? But what are you getting? Speed. High
Performance.
availability is there, definitely. Speed. Now you do it speed on. We are using Microsoft MS SQL, our own normal database for 300 people or 200 people, up to not 200 people, man. 120 people we use it. It's application where MS Microsoft sales people will use it. That application is used by some 18,000 people of Microsoft people. For that one, we have 200 servers sharding like this one. And response time is anywhere between 1 minute or anything, it will go for it. Sharding is like this one. That is the meaning of a sharding. You have this kind of capabilities, various databases. Clear, sir? What is a database? What we are going to learn right now is on RDBMS. RDBMS is a very common database all over the world. People are using, all over the world we are using. Do you remember, right? Do you remember? I don't know whether you know it or not. Amazon.com, Google.com, all the logs are stored. Then what do you do? After the logs are stored, then what do you do? You analyze the data, and the logs are stored like this. With what is that? Sharding. Why? It has to be very fast, right? So you whatever you search, right? Based on the search index, they will go and take the data. Let's take an example. People of India, what they are searching, it is present in some other. Okay, people of India, what, where are they storing, what they are searching, what is that one, all these things are there, kept it in one box kind of thing. When you look for it, it will go into the data and come back and analyze it, and it will go for it. Is it clear? Right? Very, very important. A lot of things are there, sir. When you go into the database, you will understand. So this is a database. What I would like to, I am interested in right now, I am interested, first let's talk about a simple, that is, what is that? RDBMS data. RDBMS. I know Rama has answered it. Some other people have also answered. Rama answered. Suresh answered. Okay. Okay. Can you please tell me? RDBMS means relational database system. Who's going to create this database manage? That is done by, what is that? Who is that guy? Database administrator. Can you list me some 10 database administrator roles and responsibilities? Anyone? By default, roles and responsibility of a DBA. Roles and
Creating
responsibility
schema.
of a DBA.
Create.
What is that, sir?
Creating
What is?
users and
Okay, can you
permissions.
tell me one by one? Database responsibility is to create databases.
Create tables,
Database
delete.
responsibility is to take a backup. DBA responsibility is to take care. You have to knowledge of restoration. Fine. Next, it is responsibility of a DBA to create a user management. It is responsible of a database to, what is that one? It is responsibility of a database to do, what is that? Performance tuning. The queries are slow. Why they are slow? Next, anything? Anything, sir? Okay. It is responsibility of a database to do, what is that? What is that? They have to monitor the
Monitor.
database. It is responsibility of a database to create a tables, store procedures, indexing, all these things, views, all these things, database administrator. It is responsibility of a database to do database, what is that? Migration. It is responsible of a database to apply some minor, what is that? Patches.
Patches.
It is responsible of a database To replicate the server, they should have a knowledge of what is that clustering and all those things. Yes or no? DBA role is they have to do it. Okay. Welcome to an AWS service called as RDS. RDS is replacing these people. I don't require a DBA. When you go for RDS, RDS provides you to create a database. No need a database. RDS is taking a backup and it has a capability of restore. You don't take a backup. You don't do any restoration. User management, still a DBA is required here. That is for their encryption. AWS is doing with the help of what? Encryption is done with the help of what? Data is encrypted in AWS using KMS. What are you guys are studying, sir? KMS, key management service. You don't do anything. AWS is doing this one. Security, RDS is providing. You don't require anyone. Okay. Performance tuning, insights and everything. AWS is doing. You don't require. Monitoring, AWS is doing. You don't require. Table creations, use processor. You require a DBA here also. Okay. Migration, AWS is doing. Patching, AWS is doing. Clustering, AWS is doing. Out of these many stacks, how many DBAs is required? For what DBA is required? User management and creating a table. If you can learn user management and create a table, you can replace DBA. You don't require a DBA. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. So RDS, Relational Database Service, is an AWS service which is performing, it is providing database as a service, especially RDBMS. It is providing RDBMS. What you can do with RDBMS? RDBMS means nothing but you can do all the DBA activities related to RDBMS databases. RDS is providing as a service for you. Easy to go and click on it. So that is the reason from, if you ask me personally, I think from 2015, Microsoft has never hired any DBA. From 2015, there is not a single DBA is hired in Microsoft. Why? I don't require. Why? Who is replacing? Tomorrow ChatGPT will replace whom? Programmers. I don't require programmers. In next 7 or 8 years, you will see no programmers. Or no programmers. You need very less programmers. Chat or any people can do a programming. You want any kind of a thing. So how do you write a for loop? There is no need to wait for it. You can type it in ChatGPT. I don't know how many people remember. Okay, see here. My friend has sent it. A blob. What is that? Even I'm not following. I don't have any time. Microsoft already created a Bing integration with ChatGPT. Microsoft, okay, Bing is their search engine, right? Now that is integrated with ChatGPT, and there it is in preview right now. I don't know. I don't work in that department. Now it is coming into picture. So tomorrow you want anything. So today, what do you do in ChatGPT? You can search, you can type it. Tomorrow you can use voice, right? You can say, can you give me shell scripting for loop state? Can you provide me an example? It will provide you. You can adjust and here and there. You can become a programmer. So technology is going and increasing. In the same way, RDS is coming and replacing DBA people, and it has already replaced the DBA people. Today in Microsoft, this is mandatory required. This is mandatory required for joining Microsoft. In Microsoft, at least one round, any of one round, at least some 20 questions they will ask you on database. Have you worked on database? Can you write a select query? How do you create a table? Actually, what is an index? What's the difference between a view and a store procedure? What is normalization? What is denormalization? What is performance tuning? What is indexing? What is re-indexing? Why do you require all these kind of questions? You need to know, because you are replacing DBA. Understood, right? So that is the reason you have lot of feature. RDS, pretty simple. All the installation, creating a database, creating a server, providing power internet, nothing you require. RDBMS provides you a capability of database as a service. Any questions anyone has? Anyone has any question? Is it clear? Very clear? Half clear? Full clear? Please let me know. You have any questions in database world? Ask me. I'll give you 30 seconds of time. Let me know.
Sir, one question, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, what is difference between What is difference between RDBMS and DBMS, sir?
What is the difference between RDBMS and
BMS.
VMS? I can't hear you, sir.
BMS.
Is it VMS?
What is difference between RDBMS and DBMS?
DBMS, database management services, relational database systems and database management systems. Database management systems explain you the rules and regulation of what the data gets stored. Relational database management systems exclusively talk about data in terms of relations. That's it. Really, database management system is for common rules. If you want to go and create a database management, what are the factors you consider? But what is RDBMS? What are the factors to consider when you want to store the data in relation? Indexing, re-indexing, joins, and all these things will come under RDBMS. Database management system are set of rules for any database to create. Got it?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
DB2 is also acting like NoSQL. Okay, we will talk about when I go for DynamoDB. SQL is a query language. MySQL means Microsoft query language. That's it, nothing. So Microsoft want to come up with their own query language. Means we'll talk about, you create a database, right? Then how do you fetch the data? See, I want to, there are 1,000 records. In that one, I want to fetch your data. So how do I pull the data? I need to write something, right? That is called as SQL query. You write a query. Select name from this table where name is equal to Dikshit. That is a query. And MS SQL is nothing but MS SQL is Microsoft created its own database competitor to Oracle. Microsoft SQL. Nothing. SQL just you need to understand, it's common. So now RDS came into picture. Now tell me, AWS is a database company, or AWS is what company? It's a cloud company. Is a database company? No. Who are database companies?
Oracle.
Oracle, Microsoft, like this one, right? So initially what AWS said, right? AWS went into, example, he went into Microsoft. Hey, Microsoft, can we have a deal? What is a deal? Okay, I will go and create MS SQL in AWS. Customer can create MS SQL in one button in AWS. AWS customer will use it, right? Now what I will do, I will charge $1 per hour. Okay, what I will do, 50% I will give it to you. That is 50 paisa I'll give it to you because you are giving MS SQL license. And 50% of the money I will take it because I'm providing hardware. Is that okay with you? 50-50 or any kind of a thing is the ratio. Is that okay? Array, so you will not get any loss. Whatever, how many customers are creating MS SQL databases, license is required, right? They can bring their own license, and if they don't have any license, I will apply the license costing and everything. I'll give it to you. $10 means $10 you will get it. Hardware I'm providing, current I'm providing, internet I'm providing, bandwidth I'm providing, all these things I will take care. Is that okay? AWS says okay. Sorry, Microsoft said okay. Then he went to Oracle. Oracle, is that deal? Oracle said okay. But there are some companies, they did not agree. Hey, you are a dangerous guy, I will not agree. Progress DB, IBM, and all those things. So that is the reason. Then, as you know, right, is very clever, this guy, Microsoft. So then what will happen? You know what is meant by MySQL? MySQL is another database which is open source. So what happened? Amazon has a lot of money, right? They have become the richest person. So what they have done, whoever developed MySQL in open source and contributed, right? They hired in Amazon. Hey, you can please come. Hey, you come. They know what is in and out of MySQL. There is one company which is struggling for money, which is a very good company, but struggling for money. PostgreSQL. That is also very good database. That is a new and it is struggling to get up. So Amazon came up and say, hey, PostgreSQL, I will buy your stocks. 60% of 50% of the stock I'll buy. Then I'll have more control, right? So what they have done, they created their own database, Amazon database. That is, we'll talk about that one. What is that one? It is nothing but MS SQL, MySQL, PostgreSQL combination is called as that one. So you have 6 databases you can go and create. You can just type RDS, relational database service. When you try to create a database, let's go and create a database in RDS. Okay, you can select only these many database it supports. RDS, you can select what is that? MS SQL, Oracle, PostgreSQL, MySQL, MariaDB. This is Amazon own database. How did they got this database? Combination of this one and combination of these two things. This is their own company, like they have funded. This is they bought the users and they came up with what is that? Amazon Aurora. And what they have done wantedly, they want to make sure this database everyone should use. And why? This is the number 1 in the world, this is number 2 in the world, and this should be up in the top, right? They made it bottom. Why? Competitors. I don't like them, so they are competitors here. And biggest competitor is what is that? Microsoft. That is the reason last. And what they will do, this is Microsoft. For what? This is their own database, right? Everything they will provide. They will go and provide you very thick cables. Bandwidth can be done. They will provide all that storage is very hi-fi SSDs. So that is fast. They'll come up and say, hey, please don't go this one, go for this one. This is my database. This is 10 times faster than this one. This is 20 times faster than this one. Use it, use it, use it, use it. They'll go and specify. So that's it. But really it is fast. But as an example, same case with Azure SQL, that will come up and say, you come here, my database is like bullet speed. It is like that. Their own company, they will promote it. They will provide you good hardware, all these things. These are the 6 databases you can create in RDBMS. Any of those things you can select. The good news, it is also having free tier. Cheapest one is Amazon Aurora, their own database, right? It can go for it. Whichever you want, you can go for it. Is it clear, right? 6 out of 6, you can select it. Anything you can go for. What they've provided, it is so easy. It is so easy. For you, for your example, I want to launch, what is that? SQL, MS SQL. If you select it, I don't worry about anything. You select it, AWS itself is going and providing. Do you want to launch MS SQL? What is the addition of this MS SQL? What is the meaning of addition? Yeah. What is the meaning of an addition? Addition means different varieties. See, MS SQL is a database. This database is required by which type of customers you require? Database is used by which companies? Which companies? Can anyone tell me? Anywhere in the world. Tata company uses, my shopkeeper also uses. Anyone in the world, I'm saying you, right? Different use cases. My shopkeeper will come up and say, Array, my data is 10 MB per day. A small database is sufficient. Tata will come up and say, my database is 10 terabyte. I need big data. So based on the features, Amazon has provided, MS SQL has provided multiple features. What is this one? Express Edition is free for everyone in the world. This Express Edition, I gave it to my shopkeeper in Secunderabad and Real also. I created a database in 2014. Still the database is working. He is very happy. Every time he'll come up and say, sir, very good. Thank you, sir. He is using a data. That guy doesn't know what is a software. So he bought one inventory tracking software, but they said this software is some 9,000 rupees per year. That's license cost. The 9,000 is bearable, right? He bought. They said like, we'll go and only provide application. We'll not go and provide any database. You need to buy it. Now, what is database? They don't know. Then that guy contacted me and what is a database? And I asked like what, where and everything. And they said like this database support MS SQL. So I downloaded and installed MS SQL Express Edition and integrated their application into that one. They are storing the data, very small data. I think now also it is 1.4 MB from past 10 years. Small data, is very happy because it is absolutely free. You can in your home also, you can go install it, configure it, run it, and everything is there. So that Express Edition is there. Now you will get charges when you go for standard and basically enterprise. You're very angry on your father. You want to make sure you want to sell the house in one shot. You can select this particular enterprise edition and wait for Okay, 1 month, and give the bill to your father. It will come like 10 lakhs, 12 lakhs. Done. Is it clear, right? It's very, very costly. One of our student got 6 lakhs bill. I told him not to go, not to go. He said, like, sir, I know, sir, I know, sir, I know. He went and created, and he forgot World Cup time. He created happily, sir, I work, database is working. He's a DBA, working. World Cup time, he forgot, played and cricket match. After 1 month, he got 6 lakhs bill. He called me and says, sir, I got 6 packs bill. What should I do? Then I say, what should I do? Okay, is it clear, right? So be careful. Go and select your MS SQL, and it is pretty simple. Any person in the world can create a database right now. This one practically I show you tomorrow, but you can create an express edition. See what is there here. License is already included. Now tell me, MS SQL, which version you require? AWS is providing -4 versions, 19, 17, 16, -4, whatever you have it. 2019, sir, I want to go and select 2017. No, 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 I want to go for 2017. No, 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 I want to go for it. Lot of things are there. You can select it. I want MS SQL 2017. Go up. What is a database name? Database name, you just mentioned database name is database CRM application. What is the username? What is that? Password. Username, password you will enter, because you need to log in, right? You should not share these details to anyone. Very simple. All are, any person in the world is a DBA now. You click on it. Now confirm, what is that? Master password. Now tell me, what is the RAM you require for database? 2 GB, 8 GB, 16 GB, 20 GB? You can select it, right? Based on the express edition this is providing. Hey, I'll go and provide 2-core CPU, like instance type. You'll select instance, right? Like that one. 2 CPU cores, 2 GB RAM, and the speed is, what is that one? Internet cable, not cable, the bandwidth cable is 2 GB per PS, which is decent. Now what do you require? 2 GBs? No, sir, 2.5 Gbps I need it. What is that? They provided lot of things for you. This is just an enterprise edition. This is a best a base edition, sir. If you go for enterprise edition, it supports you. Okay, 1 TB of RAM, very high servers, high cost. So you go and create it here. So which one you want, I can select it. What is the storage? Storage is, what is that? General purpose GP2, IOPS, magnetic. Are you able to understand that? Which one you want to go for it, you can select it. What is the storage size? Your database size. Okay, Dikshit went and provided 20 GB. Database size will increase or it will decrease normally? Database daily you're inserting. Facebook will increase or decrease? Increase. I went and Dikshit has went and provided 200 GB. After 2 or 3 years, 200 GB is completely full. What should I do? AWS is supporting, what is that? What is that? Storage auto scaling. Automatically 200 GB will become 250 or 300 GB. You can mention the maximum threshold, minimum threshold, and all these things. It will automatically scale up. So you don't do anything. See how many works it is taking care. I don't require any person. Automatically it is going and providing me. Now tell me, it is asking you which VPC, which subnet. Do you want to expose your database to the public? Yes or no? Generally, no, you don't want to expose. For a demo purpose, I want to log in from here, right? I will make it, what is that? Yes, it is all up to you. In generally, it will be no. What is your security group? Which availability zone it should be present? Okay, you click on it. What is the port number? Do you want to monitor? AWS is only monitoring, right? Do you want to capture, what is that? Perform insights. Okay, you go back. What is your time zone? Do you want to take a backup? When I have to take a backup, log exports, maintenance window, minor upgradation. Do you want to upgrade any things are there? And then you click on one button. What is that? Create database. Everything gets created in one click. You don't require a DBA. Got it? You don't require any DBS. This is the beauty of RDS, relational database system. I will show you tomorrow how do you create a database in one click. Let's go and create it and connect our application and database, how they are connecting to each other. Where do you go and change? What is that? All these things are your responsibility. Important. Anyone has any questions, please let me know. Is it clear? Once relational database is completed, I'll go for DynamoDB. That is NoSQL. And then we will be completing, what is that? Database is completed. Then I will go for something called as Lambda functions API gateway. In that way, we will go for it. Anyone has any questions?
Big data also uses the same concept, sir?
No, big data will not use RDBMS. Big data uses a concept called as, it is internally NoSQL. It will use sharding kind of a capabilities. Big data means large data. Your data is not stored in RDBMS. Your data will store it in files. Okay, CSV, TSV, Avro format, Parquet format. And today's world, the very good news, sir. Sir, why should I store? Data means data is stored, right? Big data consists of, what did I say? All the big data is storing in the format of
Files.
files. Then S3, I can store files, right? Your big data, actually, database itself is S3. For big data, you need what is that? Spark, all this kind of framework. But where the data resides? S3, blob storage. That is the reason primary it is become famous. Big data is nothing but you have lot of data, you keep it in files, Avro format, packet format in S3, and then you use Spark framework or Databricks framework, which will connect to that S3, pull the data, parallel processing it will do, and showcase the data. Got it, sir?
Yeah, if the same person is if another person is accessing the same file, again that disadvantage will come or no?
Everything will be taken care by that framework, sir. Multiple people are uploading anything, right? So what it has to do, where it has to do, all those kind of mechanisms that is there in the file system. That is the reason why Spark, that is the reason Spark is not used in real time. Spark is
Okay, got it.
used, Spark and other things are not used in real time. They're used for analytics purpose. Real time people will use it, NoSQL and RDBMS. Got it, sir?
Thank you. Got it.
Yeah. Okay, guys, I'm signing off right now. Thank you. Bye.